Even for the debate, as Jesse's saying, they're going to be seated.
Another day, another lie from Fox host Jeanine Pirro.
We don't even get to see them walk in. They'll be seated so that, there's one less obstacle to worry about for Biden.
They will not be seated. And this right-wing claim was debunked by debate host CNN even before Pirro went on her show. Earlier in the day, the Washington Reporter, a new right-wing site founded by GOP operatives, claimed this. Scoop, per two sources, including one at CNN, the Biden campaign is trying to renegotiate the debate rules to allow Biden to be seated. This would be a major format change from what was agreed to. Minutes later, Forbes asked CNN and generated this headline. CNN denies claim Biden wanted to sit during debate. Quote, CNN told Forbes it's not accurate and that both Biden and Trump agreed to CNN's proposed format when they accepted the network's invitation to debate. Still, Pirro went with the GOP claims anyway.
They're going to be seated. We don't even get to see them walk in. They'll be seated.
Somebody at Fox News management needs to sit down and have a little chat with Jeanine Pirro. I mean, it's one thing to speculate and make up stuff when the truth is unclear, but when your talking point has already been debunked on the record, at the very least, Pirro should report what the on-the-record statements are and then offer her lunatic views. Anyway, more on Jeanine Pirro in a moment. There were, of course, other ridiculous claims during this very segment by the gang at the 5.
This thing looks bad, and now they're talking about swapping Hillary in if he bombs in this debate.
They are talking about swapping in Hillary? Who is talking about that, Jesse? Surely you can name one person who was saying this. Oh, that's right, you cannot, because you are also pulling stuff out of your or quoting Republicans. The lone Democrat on the panel, Harold Ford, ignored the nonsense and offered a reasonable perspective on the Trump-Biden debate.
This will have Super Bowl-like numbers. And even if it doesn't reach that crescendo, who they're going to reach are those percentage of voters that we talk about, the small group of voters, 300,000 or so, maybe a little less, a little more in 6 states, who ultimately have decided the last 3 or 4 election cycles. And as a result of that, I think both sides are trying their hardest to disqualify the other candidate. And it's only going to get worse. The language, the rhetoric, the intensity of the rhetoric, and sometimes the ridiculousness of the rhetoric will only, on both sides, will ramp up.
And by ridiculousness, hey, Pirro and Waters, Harold Ford is talking about you. He's too clever and kind to come right out and specifically torch you on the set to your face, but his use of the word ridiculousness and his timing was no accident. Host Greg Gutfeld then weighed in and made a point about the debate that could just cut as easily against Donald Trump as it cuts against President Biden. Watch.
If you feel that it is that important and vital, why would you put up a feeble, deteriorating man? I mean, what they're trying to do right now, the current defense is to make Joe a sympathetic character. You're picking on him if you talk about his age or his infirmary or whatever you want to call it. The true cruelty isn't the criticism of Joe being out there. The true cruelty is putting Joe out there. So if everybody's saying, oh, it's wrong, you the guys behind it.
And you Republicans, including Fox News, have promoted Donald Trump. He's a convicted felon, and he's showing his own signs of dementia and cognitive decline.
Joe Biden has no plan. He's got absolutely no plan. He doesn't even know what the word inflation means. I don't think if you gave him a quiz, I think he should take a cognitive test like I did. I took a cognitive test, and I aced it. Doc Ronnie Johnson. Does everyone know Ronnie Johnson?
Yeah.
Ronnie Johnson.
The name of Trump's former White House physician turned U.S. Congressman is Ronnie Jackson.
Wait, what?
Not Johnson.
Now, let's go back to Jeanine Pirro. The glitches and errors from her keep coming. The other week, at the end of the Trump trial, there was this.
Robert De Niro, you're just too stupid. Keep your mouth shut.
If anybody should keep their mouth shut because of stupidity, it is Jeanine Pirro. And the Fox host proved it in this very segment attacking actor Robert De Niro.
You know, my question for Robert De Niro is, what have you done for New York City, Robert De Niro? What have you done? Is there a building with your name on it? Have you built skyscrapers? Has the skyline of New York changed because of all of your vision?
Actually, it has. Robert De Niro co-founded the Tribeca Film Festival to revitalize and rebuild Lower Manhattan after the area was decimated in the 9/11 attacks. De Niro also helped build the $600 million Wildflower Film Studios in the Queensboro of New York City.
You had to read everything you read to get ahead in life, and now you're reading a script at a Biden-arranged press conference. You're a loser, and I'm not surprised you needed that. And let me say this about the Biden administration. They're bleeding women, minorities, and they bring out this geezer.
A geezer? Well, Jeanine Pirro has engaged in projection before, and she has frequently shown her own age and ignorance while defending and promoting Donald Trump. A few months ago, Pirro delivered a whopper while talking about a House hearing and Trump's mishandling of classified documents.
To a person, the Democrats spent the whole day saying Donald Trump obstructed. Well, newsflash, Donald Trump is not charged with obstructing.
Actually, Donald Trump is charged with obstruction. In the Florida documents case, count 33, conspiracy to obstruct justice.
Obstruction is not the issue.
Trump was also charged with false statements and representations, altering, destroying, mutilating, or concealing, as well as corruptly altering, destroying, or mutilating.
The issue is not the issue at hand. Obstruction is not the issue.
Jeanine Pirro's whoppers are an issue, so much so that 2 years ago, Fox News pulled the plug on her TV program.
I thank you for fighting for me, and you know who you are. And so as we reach the end of this journey, don't think you're getting rid of me just yet.
Yes, Fox News kept Pirro around as a commentator on The Five.
It's your turn.
It's your segment.
And the controversies have become legendary. Mediaite Fox News reportedly demoted Jeanine Pirro, own producer, torched her as a reckless maniac. Quote, Pirro had become so unmanageable that her own executive producer called her a reckless maniac, as a filing in the Dominion lawsuit previously indicated.
This guy has been lying from the moment he came on the political scene. He has a lack of empathy. He is egocentric. He's got a condescending smirk whenever anybody asks him a question from the press.
Some of the recklessness allegedly included drinking too much wine before going on air, a claim underscored by the Good Liars.
Let me ask you a question. When you're on the air, do you have a couple drinks before you go on?
Never.
Because I watched you one time and you were slurring your words a little bit.
I was never slurring my words.
Jeanine Pirro was never slurring her words, and President Biden is demanding to sit at the CNN presidential debate, even though CNN and the Biden campaign deny Biden or his team ever made such a request. The fact is, the only thing one can ever really count on with Jeanine Pirro is that she's going to get things wrong and spew Republican talking points. Both often go hand in hand, but nonetheless, Jeanine Pirro is literally a caricature of so much that is wrong with conservative media. She is unreliable, uninformed, and loud. So when it comes to taking a seat on live television, Jeanine Pirro would do all of America a favor by taking a seat far away from any cameras or microphones. By the way, Trump advisor Steve Bannon, who is also a convicted criminal, has been rejected in his request to serve his prison sentence at a club fed.
Sources telling CNN that the longtime Trump ally will not get a cushy prison assignment, but is likely to serve time in a Connecticut prison where he could be placed with violent criminals and sex offenders.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Chuck Kayak, who wrote, "A prison diet would benefit Bannon." Man, the YouTube commenters are rough. Anyway, I look forward to reading your comments about Fox host Jeanine Pirro getting busted lying again, this time about the presidential debate. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.